Hi everyone, it's Trishna. So in this video, I want to focus on doing a healing to bring about more happiness in our lives. So a lot of times when we are dealing with some form of chronic unhappiness or possibly depression, it is a result of some form of shame. We are either ashamed of something we have done in the past, we may be ashamed of who we are, we may be ashamed of where we are in life and we feel like we're not as far ahead as we would like to be or not as far ahead as those around us. And that is often accompanied by a feeling of hopelessness. So if you're ashamed that you're not as far along in life as you would like, or you're not as far along in life as everybody else is, or you're not as successful in some way, there is also a hopelessness that you tend to feel if you have chronic unhappiness. And the hopelessness is around not only am I not where I want to be, I'll never get to where I want to be, or I'll never get there fast enough, or even if I get there, everybody else will have made leaps and bounds above me. And it's not that you don't want to make the effort to get where you want to go or overcome the feelings that you have, but it just feels like you can't. It just feels like the feelings of unhappiness tend to overcome you and they essentially control your energy levels and what you're willing to get up and do. And it's all kind of those feelings also very strongly affect your belief system and what you believe you can achieve. How we feel is one of the biggest drivers for what actions we will or will not take. If we feel hopeless, we simply will not be able to have the motivation or the energy or the inspiration within us because we feel hopeless to actually do something to move ourselves forward. If we feel very angry, we may want to lash out. That is the action we will often take, or we will want to exact revenge on somebody for what they have done. Those are the actions that we want to take. So what our emotions, how we feel inside, often, not always, but often dictates how we act on the outside. So of course, when you're feeling unhappy and hopeless, it's not that you don't want to act. It's simply that you're not aligned energetically and emotionally to be able to act. So the way to bring yourself out of this strong feeling of unhappiness is to do a few things. So the first one is, when it comes to the feelings of shame, I recommend that you watch my video on how to heal and how to release the shame that we tend to carry along with us, sometimes for decades or even longer. The other thing that is important to do is to expand your view of the world, expand your view of the possibilities, because a lot of times when we feel like maybe we're not as far along in life as we should be and everybody else is getting ahead, and every step that I take forward, everybody else takes 10 steps forwards for every one of my steps. Usually when we get really stuck in that kind of mentality and then we just give up, it's because we're thinking within a box. We're thinking that there's only one way to success. We're thinking that we only have one opportunity or one path forward. And we think that success can only be defined in one way or just a few ways. Sometimes healing sessions have homework, and this is one of them. So the homework here is expand your realm of possibility. Maybe look at some celebrities, or maybe look at some entrepreneurs or anybody that you determine or that you see as successful, that you look at their journey and you're just like, wow, and go back into their history. And where they began, because a lot of times people who have truly made it came from very minimal means, came from situations where nobody believed in them because they weren't successful at the time and they were chasing after a dream that nobody thought they would ever achieve. And so it's really important to go back and look at those stories, because sometimes life can change on a dime and we can go from a misfortune or no fortune to grand fortune. And so that, I feel like it's really important for you to look into stories like that, because right now you're thinking, here I am, I'm in this hopeless situation and my situation will never change. So what's the point in acting? What's the point in doing? And you're caught up in this cycle of hopelessness. Once you're able to expand your worldview of what defines success or what defines life. Maybe you think that working at a prestigious company is a definition of success because everybody around you is doing that. They're working at great companies, making a lot of money, doing something that they're good at. And you're in your job, maybe it's not as big of a company, or you're not as happy in the role, or you've been there too long and you're not growing, you're not feeling fulfilled, or you feel like you are not respected at your company or valued for the skills that you actually have, and your role is too menial for your level of ability. So whatever your situation is, maybe you're defining success in the wrong way. Maybe success for you is auditioning for The Voice and getting known in that way. Maybe you have a talent that you haven't explored before, or maybe it's starting your own business, or maybe it's becoming an artist and selling something like that online. So open up your realm of possibility, because you just may be after the wrong thing, and you may be after the wrong thing because you're measuring yourself by everybody who is around you. And then look at success stories. Look at how somebody may have started from absolutely nothing, worked really hard, stayed with their dream even though everybody told them it was never going to work out. They kept going, they kept working hard, they kept believing in themselves, they kept putting themselves out there, and then they were discovered, or they met the right contact, and all of that work on the physical level and all of that belief on the energetic internal level amounted to them now having this huge success and this huge fortune that we all know about. And it was like life completely changed, because life can completely change for any one of us. And it's all about, are you doing the work both externally but also especially internally with your emotions and your alignment. So that's what I would recommend. One, watch my healing video on releasing your shame. And two, expand your realm of possibility, because right now you feel like your world is limited and you feel like the options before you don't play to your strengths. So what's the point? Your view of limitation is what is keeping you stuck in your unhappiness. And so you have to remove that box. You have to take off that lid so you can see the world beyond just what's right in front of you. And that will help you imagine the possibilities. That will help you get energized and excited and inspired again. And that will shift your energy, and you will start acting and following the path that you actually want to follow instead of the path that you think you should because of everybody around you. So you have to break free of the limitations of your environment and find the possibilities that are beyond that. And you can do that by, one, looking around you and seeing, do I really want this? Do I really want that prestigious job where I have to dress fancy and go to the office all the time? Maybe you don't like going to the office. Maybe you don't like dressing fancy. Maybe you like being comfortable and working from home. So one, ask yourself, do you really want everything that you feel like you're supposed to have? And two, what do you want then? If you don't want that, what do you want? And maybe you should go explore those. And then three, look at those that you consider successful, those that you consider, they really made it in life, and you like their journey and you like what they're doing, and go look back and see where they started and use that to help you imagine the possibilities that are there. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I earned your like and your subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.